You thought you were about to go into the video game. I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking of Spoon 1000. I thought I was going to go into the video game that I'm about to watch. And to be honest, you are my doing fans. I'm just going to take you there right now. In style. Yeah. Style indeed. Here we go. Warning. For those who are under 21, yes, I'm looking at you and telling you, cannot allow to watch this video, episode, series, or even playlist without your parents' permission. If you are watching this without your parents' permission, then you are a silly person. It's not my fault, it's your fault. You have been warned. Hello, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and true ages, and all of them. It is me, Superior 9000, but you call me Superior. Yes, that's right. The game streamer that nobody knows in the future, becoming entrepreneur, extraordinaire influencer, pro game streamer, actor, model, anchor, writer, broadcaster, and feature wrestler. And yes, that is right, my darling fans. We're back once again playing and continuing the story series of Amorous. The story continues. Now, before we get down into the video game business, just going to throw down 3 phase cuts down at the beginning of my turn to activate them at the end. We call a streaming session. And if you're new to the channel, please press the red button to subscribe, press the purple button to follow, and press the green button to like, follow, subscribe, and support. And once you press those 3 buttons, you officially join the Superior 9000 Empire Corporation International Industry Enterprise to make the channel bigger, better, stronger, more noticeable in the future to all other social media account platforms and game streaming channel account platforms. Now, enough chit chat from your boy Superior 9000. Well, let's get to work and let's get into the video game business. Oh, and before I do, if you missed the previous episode, do not worry, my Doe fans. Your superior will leave it in the description down below. And before I do go into the video game business, I hope each and one of you, yes, I'm talking to you and telling you, I hope you got your chin clothes on, you got your drinks, you got your food, I hope you've been to the loo, and of course I hope you're chilling out on either the sofa or on the bed or on your gaming chair. Now, as I said before, let's get to work and let's get into video business. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Alright, we're back in the bedroom, yeah, and we got a phone ringing. Let's see, You know what, we're doing one more calling. Let's say that last, at least meet until our next date. I know even Kirby was getting tired of me talking about it. However, the ultimate day disaster struck life. My job search started getting callbacks, and that meant interviews. It would round up only being a couple. They were all scheduled in afternoon for the next couple of days. I rushed into the office and store and tried to remain composed and calm while I glanced at the clock. Both times ran long, and once I got in free, Jake was already getting ready for work and nearly out the door. Myself sacrificed a little sleep the second night. I tried to at least catch him at work. We could go out after his shift, maybe grab some breakfast and try to get us back into something resembling normal. I alarm clock and drove myself out of the bed. I felt a little strange downing a cup of coffee while it was still dark out. I would have an drink, I would. But at least I think I wanted was head to the club and wind up passing out on the table. As the caffeine settled into my system and I found myself more alert and started thinking about what to wear and what to do next. After a few moments, got myself together enough to head out the door and head into the car and drive. As schedule wasn't sustainable, I knew that I even eventually had to get a job. Girls sadly don't pay themselves, shame which it does. What if that meant we never had any free time together? I mean, I could try to find a shift somewhere to synchronize up with his, but I chuckled myself as I pulled in to the club parking lot. If I was this concerned, then it was probably worth making the effort. The place was hopping, packed from nearly wall to wall, with people dancing and drinking and generally having a good time. I wore my way through the undeniable crowd, keeping an eye out for both Jake and any clubbers who might try to drag me off again. I saw him briefly, bubbling like a little blue hook in the sea of rainbow colours, but couldn't get close enough to wave him down, but not willing to give up. Managed to squeeze my way to the bar and found a seat. But can I get you some? Oh, hey, it's you. Dropping in to see Jack again? Yes, if I can. I suppose if I can, it looks pretty cozy tonight. Was it? Yeah, we had another group come in an hour or so ago. I guess word is getting out about the club. It's great for business, but terrible for our personal lives. I haven't seen my sewer in ages. That comment didn't bode well, but if we're still managing a relationship, there was hope at least. He poured me something to take the edge off and moved down the bar to the next customer. Meanwhile, I kept an eye out for Jack. He was helping a rather rowdy group of customers in a back booth. I waved and he noticed me, smiling brightly. Unfortunately, he didn't notice when two of them got up from the table and spun around and sat down the last glass with a flourish. He collided with the two customers and set both their drinks and a tray. He was carrying for the floor with a cash despite being barely above the pumping music. I still flinched at the sound. I barely had time to get to my feet before the customer Jack had collided with was shouting and yelling at him. Jack was turning a deep purple and apologizing professionally. I saw another person walk up, this one wearing a shirt and tie. Soon, three of them were at it with each other, and after a few more words, Jack turned and headed towards the door. Oh, that ain't good. That does not sound good. Didn't know what was going on, but I need to find out. Slide my hand into my back pocket before waving down the bartender. As I reached in to pull out a bill, I shook his head. Don't worry about it. It's on the house. About this. Check up on him, okay? Who said? I thanked him, stopping only to with my keys before making my way towards the door. The mob was difficult to push through, and I could hear the customer in the back still complaining about the service. Yeah, I bet there's other people. Jack was standing outside when I got there. His eyes were downcast and shut tightly as his hand pressed against his forehead to shield his face from views. He tried to approach, but he just backed away from me. Spear said, Jack, it wasn't your fault. It was an accident. I'm sure this will all be cleared up in no time. Why did you leave? He bit his lip, keeping his face turned from me. I could tell by the washed-out colour of his ears and the soft sound he tried to hold back that he was crying. Spears said, Jack, talk to me. Say something, at least. I want to help. He wouldn't budge, no matter how I tried to engage him. He was retching and standing there and incapable of doing anything more than watch someone you care about fall apart. What's going on? Why did you just leave the club like that? Spears said. Jack Pliers said, they fired me on the spot. Final warning. Fucked up just enough for them to take away the one job that I liked. The only that's one that I only good at. Spearpile said, fired you for spilling a drink? That's crazy. That can't be everything. You've been working there for ages now. They wouldn't just up and let you go because of one mistake, would they? Jack replied, the manager wasn't fond of my antics and he just wanted me to serve drinks, not make a show of it, particularly if I was going to drop a bottle or spill anything. This was just the opportunity he was looking for. Jack, you can't find another job. We can find you something else where you don't have to put up with that. Jack, you think that it's that easy, but everywhere else is just the same? I had friends here, or maybe you didn't know that. I wanted to work here. I wanted to be here. Peter said, well, that's not an option. You got fired. Why would you want to go back to somewhere that doesn't respect who you are and what you do? Joe replied, do you have any clue how long I worked there? How many people I met through there? What working there actually meant to me? Peter said, no, I only just started to get to know you, Jack, and I just don't understand what is so important about this one place. There's always other opportunities. What opportunities? That was all I was good at. All I ever be good at. I love my work. Spirit Pie, what are you talking about? You can't always do something else. It's just a single nightclub in a town with dozens. I don't understand why you can't see that. So that's it. You're just going to stand there and tell me it's all okay. That doing something I love can just get yanked out from me under me and I should smile about it? I never seen Jack so lift his scales and shifted into a brilliant, almost fine red as both hands rolled tightly into a fist. I wasn't sure if his intention was to pull me or just scream, but as I watched him tremble in rage, I had the same feeling the first time we met. I wondered who the real thing was. Spirit says, what do you want me to say, Jack? That everything is going to be okay? We can't just walk back inside right now and have everything stay the same, because I can't. Jack replies, I want you to admit it. I want you to tell me why you had to show up now. why you had to wave and make me look away, and why you fucking couldn't just stay home. She said, this is my fault? That's what you are saying? You know how crazy that sounds right now? I gave up my night to get a chance to see you. Jack replied, well, then maybe you shouldn't have come. You've been busy doing other stuff. Well, calm down now. Why this night? Spear said, I didn't do anything. Jack, you spilled those drinks. You pissed off that jackass. It didn't even seem like you saw me. Don't get to just blame me just because it's coincidence. I don't know why, but that seemed to hit a nerve. He was no longer upset. He was then screaming at me. His voice echoed off the building nearby. His whole body trembled with barely contained rage. Jack replied, so damn it, you never understood me. You never understood anything but your own fucking tiny little word. You never cared about what happened to me. What I wanted to do. It's my life. My choice. And you can go the fuck to hell. Joshua hung there for a moment, his body trembling as the last echo reverberated through the alleyway. His scales coloured wildly and arms tense as if they were about to attack. It may have been the look of the confusion on my face, or the shared silence beneath the flickering streetlights that brought him back, but the sudden realization was clear in his eyes. Oh crap, I didn't. That wasn't. In a moment, it was as if his strings were cut. He fell to his knees on the sidewalk, just staring at me and through me. Spirit said, what are you talking about? Who are you talking about? You're not making any sense. I could feel my own frustration moving at my heels, and Jack stood there, leaving and moving. Who was he? Blame me for all this? What was he thinking? Jack said, I just, please, Spirit, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve any of that. I don't deserve you. My anger bled away quickly as I saw one of the people I've met look desperate to disappear from the face of the earth or beyond the universe. People, sorry, Jack, just when you snapped at me like that, I didn't mean to hurt you, and I certainly didn't mean to get you fired. I mean, sorry. Please, just tell me what's wrong. Her breath started to slow as he gathered himself together. The last few tears rolled down his cheeks, and as he composed himself to enough to stand, Jack surprised said, sorry, I know I've been saying that all night, but you didn't deserve that. I just couldn't see anything but my job ending and you weren't there anymore. It was just giving me that judgmental stare. Spirit replies, Jackson, who is that? The guy I mentioned on our date. The first guy I dated. He was a bigger piece of work than I let on. I didn't want to tell you about the breakup. That there was a bigger reason than just him being an asshole. I felt a twinge of anger rise again, both from what he must have done, and dreadful feeling like he couldn't talk to me. I forced it down and just listened. Our last few days together were rough. Fights every day, shouting matches at home. I was the problem, and he had to make me understand why. He thought at first that the club had some hold on me, that I was just too weak to leave. He swallowed hard. His hand reached out at me again. Street lamp and keeping it upright. Instinctively, I stepped closer to him. I texted and extended my hands to push the top of his. At first, he drew back, lifting his gaze to mine again before waving his hand fingers between mine and giving my hand a gentle squeeze. I nodded and mentioning him for continued. Jack replied and said, about a week before we broke up, he tried to get me fired. Set up an apparatus in order to get me in trouble so I wouldn't have any choice but to leave. He said he knew best, that I'd be better off if I didn't work there anymore. He said he was doing me a favour. It was a lot to take in at once. I thought it was odd, his distance in guys being spurred on by nothing more than a bad breakup, being a little shaken up about dating at all. But now I began to see the whole picture. This guy didn't just ignore him, he tried to completely dominate him. He said, I wonder why you snapped at me. Jack, I wasn't trying to do anything like that. You have to know that. Jack replies, oh, I know, the manager had been expressing his displeasure more lately, and I just wanted to see you again, spend some time with you. I didn't pay attention, and I don't know, maybe I was right. So he said, that's bullshit. No one who could be fine with marmalating someone like that could be right about anything. You wouldn't have gotten this angry if it didn't mean something to you. That's what the real... No, not what some creep who wanted you as a trophy say, not what some idiot who couldn't watch where he was going to say. Jack replied, I guess there really was a reason. I was willing to give you my number. Thanks, Superior. Thanks for everything. I think I just need to get some sleep. Try to calm down and it's been a rough night. So I saw you going to be alright. He swallowed hard, let his hair slowly as he was weighing round his neck. Met my gaze, letting out a soft sigh before found words. Jack replied, I will be if you stay the night with me. I was caught off guard by the request. I didn't want to take the advantage of his current emotion state, but that seems concerned. Didn't want to see him alone in bed, with this sort of mood looming over him. My hesitation must have been more apparent than I thought, as I noticed him step forward and kiss gently on the cheek before falling into an embrace. I see the wheels turning. I just don't want to wake up alone. I've got the couch if you don't want to share a bed. Oh yeah, we're taking her up and cause me till I pass out. I'm sure I can get that. I'm not exactly in the sexy mood. Hmm. People, I wouldn't feel right slipping into bed with you when you're still, so emotionally raw. I can crash on the couch and I'll be right there if you need me or anything. You smiled just a little. Scaled shifted a shadow two back there. Normally, you replied, "Good occupation. I certainly know how to pick them. Of course. I don't need you keeping me safe at all the time, but I will feel much better knowing you are there." Gently wrapped his hand around mine and motioned it down the street in the direction he wanted us to go to. Jack said, "Let's go." The walk back to his place was a little but very satisfying. He expressed some concern about the car, but it was locked it and immediately forget all plans, so I wasn't too worried. I walked a bit more about her and about living under someone like that. He was feeling a bit better, letting someone in and sharing that part of his life. I couldn't fathom stay with someone like that, but did explain more about him. His desire to please his showmanships, he wanted to be free and found a way to express that. Pretty cool. When we got to in and so he could barely keep himself standing. He didn't even address it. Instead, someone into the bed with only a sodium street lamp to the light to his room. So I shifted the covers to make sure he was comfortable. Seeing the sadness visit his face slowly, eventually into the peaceful summer. Once he was fast asleep, I settled in on the Erskine couch, not wanting to disturb him. It was remarkable and comfortable considering its age, and after covering tools with my jacket, I found myself drifted off swiftly. It seems the night had taken its toll on me too. Morning rise. Not bad for you. When it came all too quickly at the sun from a nearby window poured over me, I pulled back to the waking world. But much better after a night's sleep, and slowly pulled myself up to the sitting position. To my surprise, it was nowhere to be seen. I got up and began to looking around when I heard the sound of a shower from behind the bathroom door. I knocked softly to make certain he was all right. Jacob replied, "Morning, sleepyhead. Thanks for staying the night. Probably the soundest sleep I've had in ages. I'll be out in a minute." Yeah. I yawned and went into the kitchen. This fresh coffee was welcoming. Wait, drink it. That's where the two toasters were also up. Drinking as I picked up the note laid next to them. "And thank you for keeping me company. Eat up, Jake." Oh, so he made a breakfast. It wasn't bacon and eggs, but it was still appreciated. I wolfed down my pause at breakfast and took a sip of coffee, looking up when Jake stepped into the kitchen doorway. As happily as I was to see a smile on his face, I couldn't help but wondered why it was. Not that I'm complaining, but you seem much happier this morning for some reason. Good shower, Spirit said. Jack replied, "More like good company, and that before what happened I had a surprise planned. May not be best way to, but you can grab me something out of the the fridge. Despite the strange nature of the request, after pulling open the door, I noticed a little more than a few cans of energy drinks. Energy drinks. I pack it up until I looked it on the middle shelf. Stuffed up in front of me was a giant wicker basket of one of the old style ones that showed in every picnic picture. I looked back up and asked, "What's this? What's it all about?" When I saw Chuck standing there holding a rose, I made a mental note to figure out how he got from the view. Jack replied, "I wanted to do our third date before anything else can get in the way. We had enough bad things happen last night. I wanted today to be all about us. That's why we are going on a picnic." That's nice. I was flabbergasted. He placed the rose on the counter and pressing his body against mine before slipping his hands around my waist. He broke the kiss and looked back at me. He said, "Wow, this was amazing. When did you get around to this little scheme?" It's just fantastic and surprising." Check my thanks. I was hoping you'll like it. I just felt really bad about our last date and how short it was. I wanted to make sure that everything for this was perfect. I certainly couldn't say no, and had packed in plenty of goodies for both of us. Besides, it was supposed to be a beautiful day outside. I agree, and being shifted to a nearly blinding shade of blue. Check that I know the perfect place. Come on, we'll load everything in your car and head out right now. Anyway, Jack had forgotten that my car was still parked at the club, which was a few blocks down the street. He soon realized his mistake as we walked out into the parking lot. Still, he went under the street. We wandered up to the tour back to the club, a picnic basket in the town, and chatted along the way. As I suspect, my car was left unspread, and after we had loaded everything into it, Jack pointed the way and we were off. Nice. He wouldn't tell me the name of the park as we rode through the back street to the outside of town. When the last of the buildings gave way to homes, he finally let me in on his secret. Because I used to come out this way sometimes when I was a freshman, whenever classes got overwhelming and I needed a break from all the stress. It's stereotypical, I know, but sometimes just laying on the grass and soaking up the sun just made me think better. Anyway, I found a spot near a little brick amphitheater that should be great for a picnic. When we arrived, we hit the snag and apparently there was some event going on and they were in the middle of setting up. There was crestfallen until I noticed overhanging hills just a little deeper into the park. It was covered in thick, freshly cut grass and had nice old oak trees to provide some shade. He went back up the two of us and took a narrow trail to top off the hill. We were more happy to have a seat after working our way up to the remarkable steep incline. Jack set out the dishes while I leaned back against retreat and enjoy the sunlight filtering through bunches. Jack replied, "Are you ready for sandwiches, or did you want something a little lighter to start off with? And when do you time to change your gear?" You know what? Let's just eat. People, oh, famished. I couldn't eat at all yesterday after last night. I could just use something more than a toast of waffles. Jack replied, "A sandwich it is then." From out of the folds of the tablecloth in the basket, he produced a handful of wrapped sandwiches, offered me one as he took one himself and settled next to me. As we ate, snuggled up under the shade of the tree, a conversation wandered between our favourite stories to was about the old flames. Jack insisted on hearing about my previous attempts in the dating screen. Much more to my own challenge, it was only fair, considering I heard so much about his. It's really wound up for being the best that we've broken off. We just wanted two different things. Kitchen and realised that until we'd been together for a while. She got quiet, turning a shade or to his gaze, wandering over the edge of the hill into his beyond the cover said something to upset him, but he looked back. After a moment, we smiled. Jack replied, "Sorry, old memories. I didn't mean to pack those in with the sandwich and pudding. I guess I felt the same way with Spearply said, "You are the one who wanted to talk about old flames. There are much more pleasant things to talk about, you know, and more pleasant things to do." Jack just going to leave that one hanging there, huh? Grinned at him slyly and enjoying watching his scales shifted a shade more purple, waving him over. The two of us snuggled up on the blanket and took the moment to enjoy the day. Seems like the sun still had its desired effect on Jack. Pretty soon he was all but spiraled against me. Eyes closed and his scales settling into a screen cone. Jack replied, "It's been a while since I had the time to do this. I wasn't one for the outdoors." He released his air conditioning and lowered the seats. "You seem, I'm wondering, preoccupied with your ex when your current date is sitting right here. I get the feeling there's something you want to tell me." He got quiet for a moment, so whispering to the clouds above us. Both I knew he was a guarded person, but we'd gotten this far and I clearly hadn't gotten the whole story. I replied, "He wasn't just my first serious relationship. He was also my first." She replied, "First off, oh wait, you've only been with one other person." Jack replied, "No, silly, just another guy. It was just, I guess, it was sort of different. I've gotten on the wheel with women, but we never quite clicked it in the same way. I just never seemed to find the spark with them after, yes, like honestly, at the rate I was going. I figured I'd be single for a long time." Because I don't see how you could even think that. Not when you are such a charmer with a flair for a dramatic. You said you could pick anyone in the club if you wanted." She replied, "I'm just saying it because I find you attractive, because I'm finding myself having some rather serious urge around you, and wanted our first time together to be exciting. I'm worried I'm a little rusty is all. First time, did you have some ulterior motions to this little picnic that I was unaware of? Jack replied, doesn't anyone have ulterior motives at their picnics? Why do you think they bring a bottle of wine? I chuckled, snuggled him up close, and gave his forehead a kiss. It was really apparent from Jack that if he uses them, that we were into each other. The only question that remained was what to do about it. Despite our urges, I still wasn't sure what to do next out in the park like we were. Just to feel obvious, I was already making my toes curl, but I didn't want to force myself onto it. We were both getting back into the swing of things, and holding him close was enough to set my skin on fire. My attempts was wholly short, as he had no hesitation with his own interests. His smooth snout gently itched under my jaw, nibbling at my neck as soft stroke of his tongue on my skin. My glimpse of his body grew tighter as I felt him more against me, pressing into my chest and delicately brushing his hands along my inner thigh. You're having so much fun with this, ain't you? Spirit said. Jack replied, I am ready though. It does still beg the question, why ain't you more into me? Spirit, believe me, I would like nothing better than to be with you right now. I mean, into you. I mean, you know. Cheeks felt they were on fire. I rested my hands on each side. Why was I holding back so much? Was he making it so hard to keep my hands off him? He turned a lighter shade of purple, his head turning to the face of mine. Those deep orange eyes looked up into mine as I felt my own cheeks began to flush, and I felt his shift into my lap, letting himself upwards until his pressed firmly against my own. His scales were still warm from the sun, almost hot to the touch, and once as he pressed more needful against me. Graceful fingertips tailed down my side and over the small of my back as we met within each other. Miles a kiss from our last date had been warm and passionate. This one was needful, demanding and abdominally forward. My hands found their way to the smooth curves of his arm, pushing over the fabric there. He picked out his uniform from work, the same outfit we first met in. I couldn't feel the finishing of the fabric against my stomach as ushered his hips against me. Oh, wow, I hadn't felt like this in a long time, Superior. Superior said, I take that's a compliment. I took my hands from around his room with a half flush. Despite desperation on his face, he looked around and totally properly. Jake quit Superior is watching. How could I say no? There was something happening around us, which was off lights and thunderous boom. measured through the afterglow haze. At first I thought it was the intensity of our covering, the blood pounding through my head as my body seemed to merge into pure heart with Jack at the pinnacle of our pleasure. However, as we sought into each embrace, we noticed a source of distraction. Times we had passed before, apparently been for some kind of festival. Once the sun had grown low enough, the particular region had begun to shoot off fireworks in celebration. Two of us happily and spent watching as the colours filled the sky above. Jack replied, "Fireworks one's our first time to be memorable, but timing delivered better than I planned." We both laughed, almost holding each other tightly as we lay back against the tree to enjoy a show. Spear said, "Always a showman." It was past dinner when the final got up from the trees behind us. Only a few street lights remained, twinkling in the stars trees beyond the edge of the park. Fireworks had finally decided the two of us vaguely admit that we should probably get dressed. We gathered our things and picked up a picnic basket, headed over in enthusiastic group, each other, and we made our way back down the trail and towards the car. Jack replied, "I'm not sure I'll be able to top this for our fourth date." "Don't worry, I'm always available for any of your topping needs." It was worth the bad joke just to see Jack turn deep and purple and smile as he strolled past the elevation fair goes down the parking lot below. I shifted and chuckled as he threw me a playful death glare before both of us burst out laughing. "Spear, thank you for being here, for putting up with my outburst, for screwing your brains out." Jack, especially for screwing my brains out. I guess with everything falling apart at the club, I think I was holding onto a lot of shit from Zach and doubting myself. We've all gotten that, Jack. We've just got to find a way to move from the past. I was pretty overwhelmed when I first met too. I hardly been back in the game myself for long. You, on the other hand, we were together and sure of you yourself. It's why I wanted to get to know you better," Spear said. Jack Ryder said, "I hope I have plenty of time off for that and the other more fun parts." "I'm confident we will both count. I see no reason to stop now," Spear said. Jack replied, "Good, because now the fourth day is all you, Superior. Let's see you try to do better than games in the park to fireworks." Superior's reply said, I'll let you tell everyone know of that if it makes you feel better." He punched me playfully and on the shoulder, and forced it only to slide the picnic basket into the back of the car. Once inside, he leaned over and gave me a smile, peek on the cheek, his hand falling to my thigh. Jack replied, "With you around, just might be able to get through this." Spear said, "I hope so. More dates like this, you have me truly spoiled." Despite the joking, Jack's colour began to fade again. Eyes drifted to the window. My smile faded as well as and put the car into gear, pulled out of the space, which I'm going to have to figure out what to do. I don't have a job to get up for, and my rent's not going to pay itself. We'll deal with it together. Fresh in the morning. Let's just hold on to today's for a little bit longer. At least. He smiled, moving my arms gently before settling back into his seat. The conversation drifted back to me. Job hunt, just a little thing to keep him distracted. Guess this is my stop. I suppose I could convince you to stay another night. I have a whole box of freezer waffles. I want to stay and ride this to the end. Just pretend that I didn't need a happy, stayed honeymoon phase forever. I wanted to speak, but smiled and stopped me. Chopper, but we have a thing to do first. We get everything settled, and then regular sleepovers. Those towels can probably wait a while. These, but hung in there, tantalizing and just on the cusp of being real. It was just a terrible idea. Just hide out while I was employed, but in that moment it didn't matter. Just one more time, join the for a few more moments before I opened the door and gave me a parting wave. But tomorrow, bright and early, we'll fix our problems and then we get to good stuff. It's date spirit. Propane was the hardest. I've been for a roller coaster, getting this far and just driving away felt like I was tearing off a chunk of myself. Still, what we had was worth waiting, and tomorrow was going to be another day worth waking up to. That potential would be enough to see me through the night, especially if I might get to see Jack again. Well, that was fun. Just in case there are any errors. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and teenagers, I'm going to end the video here, but if you like this, then I'm going to take my 3 face down cards. First, that's my first face down cards. Grab me, Wolfson, Legendary, First Now, Wolf, Future Champion, and pick the others, but wait, I'm not done just yet. I have my second face down card. Please press the red button to subscribe, press the purple button to follow, and press the green button to like, follow, subscribe, and support. Which press those 3 buttons if you wish to join the Superior 9000 Empire Corporation International Industry Enterprise, which are bigger, better, stronger, more noticeable, featured to all other social media account platforms and game streaming channel account platforms. But wait, I'm not done just yet. I have my third and final face down card, which I'll leave this in the description down below. So you can follow me on social media, Universe World website, and the social media Universe World website are Discord, Steam, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and of course Twitch and Kick. And watch, use, follow, subscribe, support when you officially join the Superior 9000 Empire Corporation International Industry Enterprise to make the channel bigger, better, stronger, and more noticeable by the future to all other social media account platforms and game streaming channel account platforms. This is Superior 9000, the game streamer that nobody knows the future, becoming entrepreneur, extraordinary influencer, pro game streamer, actor, model, and creator, broadcaster, and feature wrestler. Sign up. Okay, everyone, take care, stay at home, be safe, wash hands, do this away, and of course, most importantly, not pick most importantly, and remember this, wear a mask, and I'll see each one in your next video. But before I go, I have one thing to say. Lots of pro game streamers like myself, also and legend. Thank you for flying Superior 9000 Chat. We hope you enjoy these videos. Support, subscribe to this channel and other platforms as well.